The slap of the screen door echoed like a gunshot as I stepped into the backyard, the scent of charred ribeye and hickory smoke assaulting my nostrils. Laughter bubbled from the cluster of my family around the wrought iron table, crystal glasses clinking under the string lights that dangled like mocking stars. My sister, Elena, tossed her head back, her diamond earrings catching the glow from the fire pit, while my brother, Marcus, grinned that predatory smile of his, the one that always made me feel like prey. Mom hovered with a platter of grilled asparagus, her pearls gleaming against her silk blouse, and Dad lounged in his Adirondack chair, swirling bourbon like a king on his throne. It was my birthday, 35 years of scraping by in their shadow, and they'd thrown this opulent spread without a single candle for me. Smiling through the knot in my throat, I asked, "Did you remember my birthday?" The laughter died. Elena's eyes flicked to Marcus, a silent telegraph I knew too well from childhood games where I was always the outsider. Mom froze, her platter tilting just enough for an asparagus spear to slip onto the flagstone patio with a soft thud. Dad cleared his throat, his voice booming with forced joviality. "Alex, kiddo, of course we did. Happy birthday. Grab a plate. We're celebrating the family tonight." Celebrating the family. Not me. The words landed like acid on an open wound, burning through the thin veneer of hope I'd carried through the door. My smile cracked, but I held it, nodding as if it didn't matter. Inside, fury ignited, hot and viscous, spreading from my chest to my fingertips. How many times had I swallowed this? The overlooked promotions because Marcus needed the family business slot. The holidays where Elena's kids got the heirloom gifts while I got polite cards. But this, my own birthday erased in their luxurious revelry, felt like the final erasure. I sat at the table's edge, the wicker chair creaking under me, and forced a bite of steak, the juice tasting like blood. As the evening wore on, the smoke from the fire pit curled into my eyes, stinging them to match the ache in my heart. Conversations swirled around me like eddies in a river I couldn't navigate. Elena boasted about her latest real estate flip, a beachfront condo she'd snagged with Dad's guidance. Marcus droned on about expanding the family vineyard, his hands gesturing expansively, rings flashing. Mom interjected with praises, her voice a saccharine drizzle. "You're both so brilliant. The legacy lives on." Legacy. The word twisted in my gut. What legacy? The one where I, the middle child, the artistic one, was left to fend for myself while they divvied up the spoils. I excused myself to the bathroom, the marble tiles cold under my bare feet as I splashed water on my face. Staring into the mirror, my reflection mocked me. Hollow eyes, lines etched from years of resentment I'd buried under forced smiles. Denial whispered, maybe they just forgot. People forget. But no, this was deliberate. Pattern. Humiliation surged, hot and humiliating, making my cheeks burn. I imagined storming back out, flipping the table, watching their smug faces shatter like the crystal. Fantasies of justice flickered, exposing Marcus's shady deals, the ones I'd overheard whispers about. But doubt crept in. What if I was overreacting? What if this was just me, the perpetual victim, reading malice where there was none? Back outside, the night had deepened, the barbecue embers glowing like accusatory eyes. I lingered by the pool house, its chlorine tang mixing with the fading smoke, when voices drifted from the open window. Elena's hiss. "We can't tell Alex yet. The will's almost finalized. Dad's signing tomorrow. If Alex finds out, we're cutting them out." Marcus's low chuckle. "Relax, sis. Alex is clueless. Always has been. That birthday slip. Perfect cover. We'll say it's a surprise redistribution for the grandkids. Tax benefits, you know." Mom's murmur. "It's for the best. Alex has always been unstable. Remember the art school fiasco. We can't risk the estate on whims." Dad's gravelly agreement sealed it. "Right. The vineyard expansion needs capital. Alex will get a token sum, enough to keep quiet." My world tilted. Betrayal wasn't just forgetting a birthday. It was this, Systematic excision from the family fortune I'd helped build with my silence, my overlooked contributions. The inheritance from Grandma's estate, the one I'd nursed her through in her final years while they vacationed. They were stealing it. Heartbreak crashed over me, a tidal wave of grief for the family I'd idealized, now revealed as vipers in silk. Resentment boiled into obsession. They would pay. Not with screams or fists, that was too crude. No, my revenge would be surgical, a slow poison in their perfect lives. I slipped back to the table, my face a mask of placid acceptance. "Everything okay?" Elena asked, her eyes sharp. "Never better," I replied, my voice steady, but inside, plans germinated like weeds in fertile soil. I'd play the fool a little longer, gather evidence, turn their greed against them. That night, driving home to my cramped apartment, the one they'd never helped with, the city lights blurred through unshed tears. Guilt nipped at me. Was I becoming like them, plotting in shadows? But no, this was justice. Cold resolve hardened in my chest, a shield against the moral fog. I'd start with the will, hack into Dad's emails if I had to, find the lawyer's details. Fear whispered of consequences. Prison, alienation. But the humiliation replayed, their laughter the forgotten cake, and doubt faded. This was survival. The next morning, sunlight pierced my blinds like interrogating fingers. I brewed coffee, the bitter steam mirroring my mood. Sitting at my laptop, fingers hovering over keys, I recalled Dad's password from a careless glance years ago. Logging into the family cloud drive felt like crossing a threshold, heart pounding with illicit thrill. Files scrolled, vineyard contracts, Elena's property deeds. Then the will draft. Scanning it, fury reignited. They'd allocated me a pittance for living expenses, while Marcus and Elena got millions. Hidden motives unveiled. Emails about protecting assets from Alex's instability. Instability. From the time I quit the family business to pursue painting, only to fail and crawl back. They'd twisted my vulnerability into justification. Obsession gripped me. I photographed the documents, my hands trembling. Inner conflict raged. This is wrong. Hacking is illegal. But so is fraud. Grandma's will had stipulated equal shares. They'd forged amendments. Doubt clawed, maybe it's legal. Maybe I'm the monster. But no, the emails showed collusion with a shady lawyer. Bribes mentioned in veiled terms. I met a friend for lunch, the cafe's chatter a distant hum. "You look wrecked," she said, sipping latte. "Family stuff," I muttered, suppressing rage. Dialogue felt natural, but laced with hidden barbs. I probed her for advice on hypothetical estate law, filing away details. Back home, pacing the worn carpet, plans solidified. I'd expose them anonymously. Leaked to the IRS, the press. But slow burn. First sow discord. A forged email from Marcus to Elena, hinting at double-cross. Watch them turn on each other. Suspicion built subtly. At a family meeting Dad called, ostensibly for vineyard updates. I arrived early, planting a tiny recorder in the study. The mahogany desk smelled of polish and secrets. Hiding it under a stack of papers, my pulse raced. What if they found it? Fear mixed with exhilaration. They gathered, oblivious. Dad's voice boomed. "The signing's tomorrow. Alex, we're thinking of a trust for you, steady income." I nodded, feigning gratitude, but inside resentment festered. "That's kind," I said, voice laced with irony they missed. Elena eyed me warily. "You seem off." "Just tired," I lied, suppressing the urge to scream. Later, retrieving the recorder, I listened in the dark. Their post-meeting whispers. "Alex suspects nothing." Laughter. My fists clenched, nails digging into palms. The pursuit began in earnest. Weeks blurred into calculated moves. I shadowed Marcus to a meeting with the lawyer, the city's smog choking my resolve. From a cafe across the street, I watched through rain-streaked windows, steam from my tea fogging the glass. He handed over an envelope, bribes. Photos snapped on my phone. Inner thoughts tormented. This obsession is consuming me. What about my art? My life? But betrayal's scar throbbed, driving me. Guilt surfaced in dreams. Family in ruins, my fault. Yet cold resolve won. They deserved it. Confrontation loomed. Elena called. Come over. We need to talk. Heart hammering, I went. The house loomed, manicured lawns a facade. Inside, the air thick with tension. We've noticed you've been distant, Mom said, her eyes pleading false concern. Birthdays do that, I quipped, rage simmering. Marcus leaned in. Look, Alex, we're family. Whatever's bothering you? Nothing, I cut in, voice sharp. Suspense hung, unspoken accusations electric. That night, I drafted the anonymous tip to the authorities, fingers flying. But doubt halted me. Is this justice or vengeance? Moral conflict peaked. Poetic justice demanded balance, not destruction. Part 1 ended on that precipice, revenge uncoiling like smoke from dying embers. Part 2. The Reckoning Inferno. The cursor blinked accusingly on my screen, the anonymous email half-written. Suspected estate fraud in the Harrington family. My fingers hovered, trembling. Obsession had morphed into a living thing, coiling around my thoughts, squeezing out sleep and sanity. But guilt reared again. They were blood. Flawed, greedy blood, but mine. I deleted the draft, slamming the laptop shut. The room's silence pressed in, broken only by the distant hum of traffic. No exposure was too blunt. Revenge needed finesse. Make them feel the betrayal I'd endured layer by layer. I turned to subtler sabotage, starting with Elena. Her real estate empire, built on Dad's loans and shady flips. I dug deeper using public records. Nothing illegal, but my hacks revealed off-books deals. A whispered tip to her biggest client via a burner phone. Check the property liens on that condo. Hidden encumbrances. Anonymous, untraceable. Watching from afar, I saw the fallout. A cancelled deal, Elena's frantic calls echoing in my imagination. Inner turmoil churned. This is petty. Satisfying but petty. Fear whispered of escalation. What if they traced it? But resentment fueled me. Remember the birthday? The will. They erased me. I'd erase their security. Marcus next. The vineyard expansion hinged on a loan. Documents I'd photographed showing inflated valuations. Fraudulent appraisals. A forged letter to the bank, mimicking his handwriting from samples I'd scanned. Withdraw application. Personal issues. Mailed from a distant post office. The drive there a blur of rain-slicked roads and pounding heart. Doubt nagged. Forgery. You're crossing lines. Moral grayness enveloped me. I was no better than them now. But the fantasy of their confusion sustained me. Tension built slowly like storm clouds gathering. Family dinners grew strained, their laughter forced. Dad's bourbon pours heavier, Mom's pearls clutched tighter. Business hiccups, Marcus grumbled one evening, the dining room's chandelier casting shadows like bars. Elena snapped. More than hiccups. My deal tanked. Someone's sabotaging us. I feigned concern, sipping wine that tasted like victory. Who would do that? Their eyes flicked to me, suspicion flickering. Suppressed rage boiled in my chest, but I held it, a coiled spring. Dialogue revealed cracks. Alex, you've been quiet, Dad probed. Any issues? None, I replied, voice neutral, but inside obsession screamed. Confess. Watch them squirm. Nights blurred into planning. My apartment, once a sanctuary, now a war room. Printouts pinned to walls, timelines scrawled. Sensory details anchored me. The crinkle of paper, the metallic tang of takeout forks, the blue glow of screens burning my eyes. Heartbreak resurfaced in quiet moments. Memories of childhood barbecues, genuine then before greed poisoned us. Guilt intensified. Am I destroying what's left? A pivotal moment. Confronting Elena alone. She showed up at my door, rain-drenched, mascara streaked. Alex, is it you? The leaks. Denial automatic. What? No. Her eyes searched mine, layered with hurt. We've always protected you. The will, it's for your own good. Rage erupted. Protected? You stole from me. She recoiled, secret spilling. Grandma changed it last minute. Said you were too fragile. We just enforced it. But her vulnerability humanized her. Motivations complex, fear of poverty driving her. Moral conflict peaked. She's scared like me. Yet resolve hardened. Escalated. Hacking Dad's email again, I planted evidence. Messages suggesting Marcus embezzled from Elena. Sent them anonymously to both. The fallout. A screaming match I overheard via planted bug in the family car. Technology my unstable mind had mastered. Suspense crested. They called an emergency meeting at the house. I arrived, the backyard barbecue pit cold now. A metaphor for our chilled bonds. Atmosphere thick. Thunder rumbling distant. Wind whipping leaves like accusations. Dad's face ashen. Someone's tearing us apart from inside. Marcus glared at Elena. Your deals, your fault. She shot back. Your loans. You greedy. I watched, cold satisfaction mingling with horror. Inner thoughts raced. This is it. The unraveling. Then the twist. Mom pulled me aside, her hands cold on mine. Alex, I know it's you. Denial faltered. How? The birthday. We didn't forget. We staged it to push you away. Protect you. Confusion. From what? Tears in her eyes. The family business. It's crumbling. Fraud. We cut you out to save you from the fallout. RS is coming. We love you, wanted you clean. Chuck jolted me. Betrayal inverted. They'd sacrificed me to shield me? But no, emails showed greed, not altruism. Or did they? Replaying memories, hints emerged. Dad's worried glances, Mom's pleas. Fury morphed to heartbreak. My revenge. It accelerated their ruin. But now, poetic justice twisted. I'd become the betrayer. In the chaos, Marcus lunged at Elena, accusations flying. I intervened. Stop. It's me. Confessions poured. My plans, their deceptions. Guilt crashed. I destroyed us all. Unexpected consequence. Unity in ruin. We burned the documents together, the fire pit roaring anew. But the IRS tip, mine anonymous, loomed. Sirens wailed distant. The payoff, as agents arrived, Dad whispered. We deserved this. Freedom in downfall, but my obsession's price. Isolation eternal. In the end, revenge tasted like ashes. Bitter, irredeemable.